You have journeyed far, not just in miles or years, but in consciousness, through valleys of uncertainty, mountains of resistance, and oceans of delay. And now, though the world around you may still appear unchanged, you stand at the very edge of transformation, the final stretch, the place where most turn back not because they are weak, but because they mistake the silence for failure, the stillness for abandonment. But I tell you, this is the moment to keep going, for your vision, your sacred inner knowing is not a fantasy or a fluke. It is your truth, and the universe, which is none other than yourself pushed out, is arranging the pieces in perfect alignment to fulfill it. The world is but a mirror, and what you impress upon your inner self must reflect without. There is no power outside of you that decides whether you succeed or fail. You are the operant power. You are the cause of your experience, the artist of your reality, the dreamer in whose imagination all things come to life. But in the final stretch, when the senses scream that nothing is changing, that's when the imagination must become sovereign. That's when faith, true faith, must override every appearance. Feel it now, the weight of your vision, not as a burden but as a promise, a covenant between you and the higher dimension of yourself. What you see with the eyes of imagination is more real than what you see with the eyes of the body, because the physical is delayed confirmation. It is the shadow of what you've already accepted within. So if you can hold the image, if you can persist in the assumption, if you can refuse to react to the world of effects, and instead act from your inner conviction, the world must bow. Do not look to time as your master. Time is your servant. What seems delayed is only being prepared. What seems absent is merely hidden in a higher layer of reality, awaiting your unwavering recognition. Your vision is not pending approval from life. It awaits only your consistency. Speak to it now within. Speak not with desperation, but with certainty. Declare it is done, and live as though it were. For imagination is not wishful thinking. It is the only reality. Your assumption, if consistent, becomes the bridge over which your desire walks into the world. Many reach this stage and falter not because they lack desire, but because they respond too quickly to appearances. They look for signs. They search for proof. But the only proof you need is the inner knowing that you have already claimed it. And if you can move through the final stretch as though your prayer were already answered, then the echo must follow the voice. The outer must echo the inner. It is law. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle becoming visible. The thing you want is not coming to you from elsewhere. It emerges from you, molded by your persistent inner conversation, shaped by the feelings you dwell in daily. So what are you saying to yourself in silence? What mood do you entertain when no one is looking? That is the root of your harvest. And in this final stretch, your mental diet must be sacred. No idle thoughts, no indulgence in doubt, no compromise with fear. You must become one with your vision, married to its reality and feeling, even if the world around you laughs or scoffs or yawns. And it will. For those who walk by imagination always seem strange to those who live only by facts. But remember this, facts are just the fossilized remains of past beliefs. They are not permanent. They are not truth. They are echoes of old inner talk. The moment you adopt a new assumption, you change the root, and therefore the fruit must follow. Persist. If you had already become what you desire, how would you walk? How would you speak? How would you breathe? What would you allow yourself to expect? This is not make-believe, this is making real. To live from the end is to shift your state. And everything in this universe is state. You do not manifest by effort, but by identification you become it. You wear it inwardly. You feel it real. And what you feel as real, your subconscious must accept. And what it accepts, it outpictures as your world. So do not be deceived by the delay. Delay is not denial, delay is preparation. It is your higher self ensuring that all elements rise to match the greatness you claim within. And if it seems darkest now, remember, the darkest moment always comes just before the dawn. It is a test not from some external deity, but from your own mind. A test of trust, a test of faith, a test of vision. Will you believe only what you see, or will you believe what you've chosen to assume? The senses are slow, imagination is instant. Do not wait for proof to feel successful. Feel it now and let the world catch up. If the vision has come to you, it is already yours. It would not have entered your awareness had it not already existed in the field of possibility. And the field of possibility is not outside of you, it is you. You are infinite awareness. And your visions are messages from your deeper self, reminding you of what is possible when you choose to remember who you really are. You are not put here to struggle endlessly or to beg the world for scraps of approval or provision. You were born to remember your divinity, to know that you and the source are one, that your desire is the voice of God whispering, "This too is yours." You do not chase after it. You rest in it. You abide in the state of having, and the world must conform, for the world is yourself pushed out. Every person, every condition, every circumstance is playing the role you assign them in your inner theater. Change the script, and the actors change their lines. It is in the silence of your own being that creation takes place. Not in noise, not in effort, but in stillness. Go there now. In your mind, step into the scene of your wish fulfilled. Make it vivid, see the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures. Do not observe it, participate in it. Lose yourself in the feeling of it already being so, and then carry that feeling with you into waking life. Let it bleed into your gestures, your posture, your breath. You are not pretending, you are creating. You are selecting a higher reality from the infinite ones available. And your selection, once believed, must become flesh. It is law. There is no force that can oppose you except your own doubt. But doubt is nothing but misplaced imagination. You are already imagining every moment. So choose wisely. Choose lovingly, choose boldly. And if the old world tries to rise again, trying to lure you back into fear or resignation, simply say within, "I remember who I am," and keep going. For the final stretch is not a punishment, it is the polishing. It is the sacred fire that burns away any remaining disbelief. It is the universe asking you, are you ready to live what you have imagined? Not once, not for a few minutes of meditation, but moment to moment, breath to breath, feeling to feeling. This is the discipline. And this is the liberation. What you persist in assuming, even when all physical evidence contradicts it, will harden into fact. It is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are not declaring your superiority over life. You are declaring your unity with it. And when you know that all things exist in consciousness, then you will never again beg the world to change. You will change within, and the world will follow. Let the world say what it will. Let the conditions bark and growl and whisper their doubts. Let time appear slow. Let silence linger. You remain unmoved. Stand still in the knowing that what you've imagined is real, and it will come. Perhaps not by the path you expected, but by a way so natural you will look back and smile, remembering how close you were to giving up, not knowing how close you also were to receiving. It is all unfolding now. Keep going. You are on the threshold. You are walking through the final stretch, not empty-handed, but already crowned with the fulfillment of your vision. Wear it, own it, radiate it, and the world will have no choice but to bow. The world around you may look unchanged, but do not mistake stillness for stagnation. When the seed is buried in the soil, it does not scream for recognition, it transforms in silence. It breaks apart beneath the surface, becoming unrecognizable to its former self. So too must you allow your former concept of self to dissolve, to die, to be stripped away by your inner acceptance of the new identity. The vision you carry is not a distant goal. It is a version of you already alive in another dimension of consciousness. You are not waiting for it to happen, you are becoming it. This final stretch will test the strength of your assumption, not to punish, but to solidify. You are not a novice now. You are no longer swayed by appearances. You understand the laws of consciousness. You no longer beg the world for confirmation. You know that your inner conversations, your mental rehearsals, your emotional alignment, these are the invisible builders of your outer world. So you persist, not because it's easy, but because you've chosen to believe that what you desire is already yours. And belief, true belief, is not passive. It is not intellectual agreement. It is embodiment. It is when your very cells vibrate in tune with your assumption. It is when you respond to life as the one who already has it, not the one who hopes for it. That is the line that separates manifestation from frustration, the line that separates those who dream and those who live their dream. If you had it now, how would you feel? Go there. Dwell there, not just once, not for a few fleeting seconds, but as your dominant dwelling place. Let the feeling become your new home, your new resting place. Make the state of the wish fulfilled your atmosphere. Breathe in it, walk in it, sleep in it, until it no longer feels like pretending, but remembering. For what you call your desire is not a future event. It is a spiritual fact. It exists now. And your job is not to make it happen, but to tune in, to align, to stay faithful to the unseen, knowing that the unseen is the seed of all seen things. You are not alone. You never were. The universe conspires with you, not against you, but it conspires at the level of your conviction. It moves mountains when you move within, and if mountains appear to remain, do not curse them. Bless them, for they reveal to you the final remnants of resistance. They show you where you are still holding back your belief. Speak kindly to your vision. Whisper to it in the quiet hours. Tell it that you trust it, that you see it, that you know it's real. This is not foolishness. This is creation. This is how reality is born, through focused inner communion with the already accomplished. It is not enough to want, you must become. You must lose yourself in the state of the new you so completely that you forget you were ever waiting. The world will adjust, it always does. But the new world does not come to you because you beg for it. It comes because you become its match. The new job, the relationship, the abundance, the peace, they do not come as rewards. They are reflections, mirrors of your inner state. And in this final stretch, when the temptation to abandon your inner work is loudest, you must go deeper. Do not ask if it's working. That question itself is evidence of doubt, and doubt waters the weeds, not the seed. The only evidence you need is the inner knowing, the still, unwavering sense that it is done. And even if the world roars otherwise, your inner world must remain serene, not because you are naive, but because you know the truth, that nothing outside of you has power over what you've chosen within. There is no force in heaven or on earth that can stop a being who is loyal to their vision. But loyalty must be felt, not just spoken. You must carry it like a secret flame, a quiet fire that never goes out, no matter how cold the winds of life may blow. That is power. That is faith. That is creation. And if the world seems slow, do not despair. It is catching up to your new frequency. Just as radio waves must be tuned into, so too must the physical realm align with the signal you emit from within. So if it takes a week or a year, you remain unmoved. For you are not measuring time, you are mastering state. And once your state is fixed, the rest is inevitable. You do not need to force. Force implies separation. You simply assume, embody, allow. This is the art, this is the grace. To live from the end is to become the cause of the world you wish to see. And the cause never begs the effect. It simply exists, unshaken, unapologetic, unrelenting. And so you rise, not by effort, but by identity. You no longer identify with the one who lacks, who waits, who questions. You are now the one who knows, who lives, who trusts. And that trust, that sacred inner agreement, becomes the fertile ground from which your new life springs forth. You are the master of your attention. Do not lend it to appearances that contradict your dream. That is spiritual adultery. Guard your imagination, guard your feeling, make no room for conversations, inner or outer, that challenge your vision. You owe no one an explanation for your faith. You owe only your soul the loyalty to walk by it. The final stretch feels long because the world moves slowly in comparison to imagination. But that slowness is not delay, it is proof of the transition. And transitions always feel messy, but they are necessary. A seed must break before it becomes a tree. A caterpillar must dissolve before it becomes a butterfly. And you too must surrender your former self in order to be reborn. Let go of the how. That is not your domain. Your domain is the what and the who. What do you want? Who must you be to receive it? Focus only there. And trust the how to your higher self, which orchestrates details with infinite intelligence. If doubts arise, and they will, do not fight them, observe them, smile at them, then return. Return to the feeling, return to the scene, return to the self that has already arrived. You are not being punished. You are being invited to practice. Every delay is a doorway into deeper conviction. Every doubt is an opportunity to double down on faith. This is mastery. This is the path of those who understand that reality bends to imagination, not the other way around. You are here to remember, to awaken, to move not by sight, but by insight, to dwell not in fear, but in foregone conclusion. Your assumption is the engine, your feeling is the fuel, and your persistence is the journey. So persist, not with tension, but with peace, not with anxiety, but with delight. Let it become joyful to dwell in your vision. Let it become your favorite secret, your most cherished companion. And soon it will no longer be a secret. It will step into the light, clothed in form, smiling back at you as if to say, "You did not give up, and so I came." And when it comes, your vision, your fulfilled desire, it will feel both natural and miraculous. Natural because you rehearsed it so many times in your inner world that its arrival feels like a memory rather than a surprise. Miraculous because you will look back and realize how easily it could have gone another way if you had surrendered your belief to fear. But you didn't. You stayed. You remained loyal to the unseen. And the unseen rewarded your faith with form. Do not measure the world's pace by your inner clock. The world is a mirror, not a leader. It follows your dominant feelings. So let that feeling be certainty. Let it be joy. Let it be unshakable confidence, even when circumstances scream the opposite. Especially then. For when contradiction is loudest, it is a sign that the shift is near completion. The old must throw its final tantrum before the new takes its throne. Do not curse the turbulence. It is the clearing. It is the recalibration of the outer world to match the frequency you now hold. The chaos is not failure. It is the crumbling of structures that can no longer contain the size of your belief. You are expanding. Your consciousness has grown too large for the